Students, also welcome for the revision sessions before the exam. So the syllabus that we are considering for exam we have completed, and we need to revise the syllabus that is for exam. So let us start the first topic revision, and first topic is nutrition in organism. As we know, the importance of nutrition in living organisms' life, it is the most important part because growth and development of organism is total reliable on the nutrition that is obtained by the organism by eating food. Different type of food provide different nutrients. Okay, as we have cereals, lentils, pulses, fruits, nuts. This different type of food provide us different nutrients. And as we have lot of diversity of living things, there are different organisms and their food requirement is different. Okay, so depending upon food requirement, the characters developed by the organisms are also developed. Means we can see different type of digestive system and digesting process is different in different organisms. It depends upon the type of food they eat. Plants can prepare their own food because they can carry out photosynthesis. Okay, they can carry out photosynthesis, so they can prepare their own food. They are producers of the planet. Mode of nutrition. Now, the mode of nutrition means different organisms have the food in different way. That is called as mode of nutrition. There are many mode of nutrition on basis of organism classification. The first is autotrophic organism. Autotrophic organisms are the organisms which can prepare their own food, and they can survive themselves. Also, they can provide food to the other organisms. They are called as autotrophic organism. Plants are autotrophic organism along with some photosynthetic bacteria, and algae are autotrophic. They produce their own food. Again, there are two types of autotrophic organism: chemoautotrophic and photoautotrophic organism. What is chemoautotrophic organism? Chemoautotrophic organism is the organism which prepare the food by utilizing the chemical as a source, as a raw material for the synthesis of food. So that organisms are chemoautotrophs. Example, sulfur and nitrogen degrading bacteria. They are chemoautotrophs. They can prepare their food from certain chemicals. Photoautotrophs, the organisms which can prepare their food by using sunlight, is called as photoautotrophs. Photo means light. Autotrophs, the organism which can prepare their own food. Okay, examples are plants and phytoplanktons. Next is heterotrophic organisms. Hetero means different, trophic means food. Heterotrophic organisms always depend upon other organisms for the basic need of food. This type of organism depend upon other organism for food. Example is human. Humans are heterotrophs. Okay, humans are heterotrophs. Heterotrophs are further divided as follows. There are many type of heterotrophs. Many type of heterotrophic organisms are there, so that we are going to study. First is herbivorous organisms. Now, herbivorous organisms are the organisms or animals which can feed upon plant material. That is called as herbivorous organisms. Mostly cattle are the herbivorous organisms, and there are many other. Next heterotropic organism is carnivores. Carnivores are the organisms which depend upon other herbivorous organisms for food. They carry out the hunting of herbivorous organism and they eat the flesh of the herbivorous organism. Example is lion, tiger. Then third is omnivores. Omnivores are the organism which can eat both kind of food. Okay, vegetarian food material and non-vegetarian food material. So they can eat vegetables and all, vegetarian stuff, and also they can eat flesh and meat. So example is dog, human are the omnivorous organisms. Next is detritivores. Detritivores are the organisms which feed upon the agricultural waste. Whatever the waste is generated in the agriculture, that agricultural waste is eaten by the earthworm. Leaves, branches, or any waste generated in the agriculture is eaten by earthworm is a detritivore. Next is the sanguivores. The organism which feed upon blood is called as sanguivores. Example is leech, mosquito, because they always feed upon the blood of other organisms. Frugivores. Frugivores are the organisms which feed only upon fruits for their survival. Example is parrot. Parrot is a bird which most of eats fruit, dependent upon fruits. Next is insectivores. Organisms feed upon insects. Okay, insectivores, name itself indicate organism is dependent upon insects like sparrow, pitcher plant, Venus flytrap, etc. Mode of feeding. The mode of feeding is also a type. First is Holozoic type. First is Holozoic mode of feeding of some organism. So what is that? We'll study. Organism eat mostly solid and sometimes liquid food is called as Holozoic organism. Means mostly it eats solid food and sometimes liquid. That organisms are Holozoic. Example is amoeba in human. Then next type is saprotropic organism. Means the organism feed upon dead decaying organic matter. Saprotropic organism means the organism which feed upon dead and decaying organic matter. Example is bacteria, fungi, etc. are the saprotropic organisms. Parasitic organisms means these organisms live on other living organisms' body, okay, or inside the body of other organism. They need live host for fulfilling their basic need of food. They are called as parasites. They are strictly dependent on the host, means other living organism, and they obtain the food as well as they get the shelter from host is called parasitic organisms. In small kids you can see there is a occurrence of one parasite called as worms, roundworms. They live in the intestine of small kids. Next is symbiotic association. Okay. Now this point is very important, that here you can understand that what is symbiotic association of organisms. Symbiotic association of organism is two type of organism. They live together and they fulfill the need of each other. It's called as symbiotic organism. Example we have taken here, lichen. Lichen is the association of algae and fungi. So what happens over here? Algae produces food by photosynthesis and it provides to the fungus, and fungi provide shelter, protection to the algae. So this is called as symbiotic association. Here you can see the image of lichen, which is a symbiotic organism. Thank you.